There's Dr. Bragg.
Still waiting on Dr. Pearson.
Hello. It was pouring down rain, I guess. Oh my goodness, it was just, out of nowhere, I didn't even know it was supposed to rain. I would have brought my cushions in from out back, but it just rained and rained. But then I got into Marion and nothing, was dry.
Oh,
Which is good, I don't have to water my car.
Do you want to read?
Cushions are wet.
Right, yeah, right. Well, my little card, so that's good.
All the old business they have. And I don't even keep it.
I could read.
It's really up to you. I know Dr. Pearson's planning. Oh. Texted. She's on her way. She'll be here in 10 minutes. And that was 2 minutes ago, so. So Kathy, you just went on a bucket list vacation, didn't you? The Sound of Music, didn't you go
To the East Coast, yeah.
where
we
that
went all
was
over.
filmed or something? Didn't I see that?
Where, what?
The Sound of Music?
Oh, yes, that was awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies.
I know, I remembered that when I
Yeah,
saw
that
it.
was, in Vermont, the Von Trapp family, when they left off. And it looks, here in Austria, it's so cool. Yeah, it's
I
so.
was actually filmed in Vermont.
No, but the whole family, the singing group, I mean, moved there and went on to travel throughout the world, but throughout the United States for sure. But there's a resort, like a hotel.
Okay.
I don't, there's fun things to do there, but it's where they wanted something that reminded them of home. Boy, it sure looks, it's so neat. Yeah. And went to Boston again and went to, David had a dream to go to, the baseball. Yes. Okay, lost track.
They got to do that?
Oh, yes, we went to it, and that was neat. It's really small.
Little bitty thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. So you really get into it. It's kind of like you're just fun, But
I've heard people say it just it's like complete us.
yeah, it is. It's the history though. It's
Yeah,
really
for
neat.
sure, right.
Yeah. But I've been all over. Didn't get to Acadia National Park, which I wanted to get there. No, we didn't, but we did go up to Canada, Montreal, and I had never been.
How long ago was this?
A month ago.
So before all the wildfires?
Well, actually, they had started, and, we went to see, a friend of ours has a home on a lake just outside of Portland, and they hadn't seen any smoke. And then when we got to Montreal, same thing, there was no smoke or anything, but then, I don't know if there was a lull in it or what, but then when we got home, and then today, like, when are they gonna put those things out? Because I don't remember that ever happening here. Now, out west, yes, I've experienced it, but not, this looks like it does out west a lot of times, some of those fires.
First time I remember that.
I know, it's kind of kooky.
Yeah, yeah, to the severity that it
What's
is.
with the fires? But someone said they don't do a real good job of, control for
Right.
in their forests, so.
Hmm.
Obviously, they need to figure that out. But it's really neat there in Montreal. I'm sure have you been? You feel like everything's French, everything, it's really neat.
Send your text.
Hmm?
Send your text.
Oh, did you just got it? What is it? It's 3 o'clock.
However, I choose the west over the east any day. Now that I've experienced it. I mean, it's neat and historic and everything, but I just love the west.
West, like California west?
All over, Wyoming, Montana. Well, Idaho is one of my favorites.
Which
Love
one?
Idaho. I love Idaho. Beautiful. Coeur d'Alene is amazing, beautiful city. Hi, Brandy. Good. Good. Brushed.
Always.
I know.
Like a chicken with its head cut off. Well, I would figure the moment that I was walking out the door, this lady came to pay her bill. My dog, who is an absolute love bug, and this lady apparently loves dogs too. So it was like 10 minutes of me like, oh, I gotta get it. And like, the dog's like, rub my belly. She's like, okay. I'm like, no, leave.
What kind of dog is it?
Golden Retriever.
Oh.
He's a sweet pea. His name's Ace.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a love bug. He's so funny. He don't care who you are. If you will pet him, he will be your best friend. Like he's.
Nala was. We had to put Nala down first of February 6th. I've never had to put a dog to sleep. She was 14. That's terrible.
I had to put I had Lou and I had her for
Awful.
almost 15 years.
I almost would rather him just get hit like that. Because you feel so guilty,
I know.
I
I just kept telling myself, the first shot kind of puts them to sleep and then the second,
I know.
I stayed the whole time.
Oh, so did I. I was bawling like a baby. It was terrible. Because they're like, no, you get down to sleep. I was like, no, she's 14.
Yeah, I'm not, well, a lot of
I've
people.
never had to do it.
A lot of people can't stand to stay in the room, and I'm like, I'm
Well-
not leaving her, and her being like, what is going on?
My
You know?
son won't leave me because he's like, Mom, I know you. You're gonna cry and be all upset.
Oh, yeah.
But she was just part of the family. And Ike still, he's 3. Just the other day, we pulled up on the golf cart in the driveway. Grammy, where's Nala? Where's Nala? I said, oh my gosh.
She's in doggy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, she's not here anymore. Okay, all right.
Email says, but that's okay.
Yeah. Thank you all for waiting.
I just got here too, so don't feel too bad about that. I literally walked in about 45 seconds before you did.
A little better. We're going like her. Is everyone here? We're online, so we can call this meeting to order, correct? All right. So you have probably had a chance to review the minutes. And I did when they first came. Let me quickly read through here and, any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Okay.
And, did you vote as well? On the approval of the minutes?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, minutes stand approved as presented. Sorry.
Sarah, is Sarah here? Sarah?
Yes, I'm here.
Just wondered if you heard. Yeah, I see the name. She's just not a video, she's audio. Okay, so division reports. Is there anything anyone? Reading through environmental division report, looks like you guys have been crazy busy. Okay. Is there anything to add to the environmental division report?
I just have one question. I just want to understand the paragraph near the bottom. Senate Enrollment Act with septic tanks rule states we have to have a draft permit, require operating permit with a property owner required to have a contract license. Does that mean the property owner has to get a permit to get their tank pumped out?
No, they have,
That deals with holding tanks only.
Okay,
Most residential properties, they have a septic tank that goes into an absorption field.
okay,
These are just specifically holding tanks, they're pumps as needed, basically.
okay.
So it's a little different than your normal
Sure,
residential
sure.
use.
Okay.
but I do think the new rule will require everyone with a holding tank to have a permit to have that holding tank and to provide a contract showing that the holding
It's
tank.
regularly pumped out. Okay, all right. I just a little confused about that one.
Well, we were. So, the legislation is not, it's confusing all of us. It's, at this point, everybody feels like their hands are tied and they're kind of like, and especially when it says until October 1st of 2023, which means we can't even,
We can't submit our ordinance to know what they don't like about our ordinance to redo our
Yes,
ordinance.
until
It
October.
feels like it just got rushed through very recklessly.
It did, it really did, and there was several meetings and lots of, people stood up and was like, whoa, 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 and they just kind of just went in one ear and out the other, and they did what they did anyway.
So how many properties are we dealing with that have systems like this?
There's a few different reasons for having holding tanks. Some of them are, maybe they only use the home seasonally, they only come here during the summer, or they only stay here during the winter. Some people like that might have a holding tank, or they've had an issue with their leach field, so they've capped that off, and now they're just pumping and hauling. Some of the mobile, like the campgrounds, what's the one on Sports Lake Campground? Fairmont has a campground. I think there's another one called Green Acres or something like that, that they have places where they have holding tanks, and those are supposed to be pumped regularly. We actually just pumped the one for Sports Lake, and they were in trouble with the state because they're supposed to be pumping those every 30 days. And
Okay,
so the state guy called us and was like, you're not pumping those every 30 days? And no, haven't pumped them since last year. So they were in trouble for lying to the state guy. And I'm not lying to him for you. So like he called me and asked, I told him the truth. I did not know why he was asking me this question. So
okay. All right, very interesting. Fence division. Happy to see some new facilities. Seems pretty self-explanatory. Um, disappointing to hear that, the suicides and fatal overdoses are, dramatically on the rise. Very disappointing to hear that. Has everyone had a chance to review these? I would entertain a motion to accept them.
So move.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right. Division reports are accepted. Okay, here's the big one, Governor's Public Health Commission funding, now known as Health First Indiana funding. So I'm gonna turn the floor over to Tara.
Okay, and there's not a lot to tell. And the commissioners on June 20th passed a resolution to opt into the funding. June 21st, it was presented to the council and they sounded very optimistic and we were to submit budgets, which have been done. Our budget hearing is August 17th at 7 PM. And it's the budget that was decided when the small group met on April 15th or 5th. It was a Wednesday night meeting. I think Kathy and Dr. Pearson participated in that. It's pretty much the budget that we set at that time.
Okay, good.
So it's about all there is to tell. We'll know more after the budget hearings.
Okay, excellent. Do we have any indication statewide how many have opted in?
I don't know. Our nurse, one of our nurses went to a nurses meeting in Wabash County last week, and she came back and said 3 of the nurses there said their counties were not. They felt like the state was maintaining too much control if they opted in. So that's not the vibe we're getting at this point. The budget I have to submit to the state is so vague that I'm surprised that they feel that way. But there has been some concern voiced about, well, what about next year and the following? Maybe they'll try to take control then. So we'll see how it plays out.
Just reminding everyone, we always have the option to opt out if we are not happy with the way things are going.
Right.
Well, that's good news, very good news. Any other questions about, I don't think we even know enough to ask questions yet.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Our nurses are meeting with other health departments and discussing the school liaison position, and Jane held a school nurses meeting back here in this little room. She put on a tea. It was really sweet. Just to get some input from the different school
Sure.
corporations, what they would like help with. At this point, most of them it's getting children to get vaccinated, and it's getting parents on board to just follow through with getting them vaccinated.
Sure.
There are a lot of different options. School liaisons throughout the state are doing everything from providing prostate and breast health education to hygiene supplies to vaccinations to trying to work out some mental health appointments. It's just really working with each school corporation to try to help them meet needs where they're lacking. So we're digging into that position.
Okay,
Jane is meeting with a couple different organizations in the county to try to figure out, we have $100,000 budgeted to just help outside entities and kind of figure out where we would want that money to funnel.
sure.
We'd like to bring that to the board before a final decision is made.
Okay.
So more to follow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I hope that answered some questions.
No, it's good to hear that there are things in the works.
Right.
That's all I need to hear.
Okay.
The process is going forward. Okay, new business. Okay, so. We got a new employee, April.
You want to introduce your new employee?
April here. April's been a county employee for about 17 years. She worked in the auditor's office.
Okay,
But she also brings experience as a GM and an assistant GM at various restaurants. So she was hired 2 weeks ago. Today was her first day.
okay,
As far as Scott, our previous employee, he had a stroke back in March, paralyzing his left side. He has since got used to his leg, however, nothing with his arm. The mobility has come down.
that would make it very difficult.
Spot.
I'm guessing you guys cannot hear the discussion.
You probably need to step up to the microphone. Sorry. And you have to.
April has 17 years with the county. She was in the auditor's
I heard
office. Now she is with us. She does have previous experience with restaurants. And then I said about Scott, he had a stroke back in March, paralyzed on the left side. He does have use in the leg, but no mobility in his arm.
I had actually heard that, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Welcome, April. Thank you. Welcome, April.
Thank you.
Now he's not the upstairs anymore.
I know, people are getting on the elevator to come see me.
Very good. So I would assume April's gonna be going through some extensive training in the coming months.
Absolutely.
This is a big job. Okay, very good. Well, welcome, April. We're now opening the floor for public comments. There's no publics here. No further discussion. I will open to a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Um,
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
That was late.